Zamalek Sports Club is an Egyptian sports club based in Metokba, Giza, Egypt that plays in the Egyptian Premier League. Founded in the 5th of January 1911 as QASR Nil Club and was first headed by Belgian lawyer George Marzbach. The name was changed to Untitled Club in the year 1913 and was named after King Farouk Club in referring to the King Farouk in 1941, before finally settling as Zamalek SC after the 1952 Egyptian Revolution. The club has won 12 Egyptian Premier League titles, 23 Egypt Cup titles, 2 Egyptian Super Cup titles, 5 CAF Champions League titles, 3 CAF Super Cup titles, 1 CAF Cup Winners' Cup title and 2 Afro-Asian Cup titles. They won more CAF trophies than any other African team in the 20th century, and IFFHS gave them the title of World Best Club Team for February 2003. Zamalek do not have their own stadium, and play home fixtures at Cairo International Stadium. Their main rivals are fellow tenants at the Cairo International Stadium, Al Ahly, with whom they contest the Cairo Derby. History. The club started out as QASR Nil Club by a Belgian lawyer, Mr. Marzbach, on the 5th of January 1911. It was the first football clubs in Cairo emerged from its non-English expatriate communities. They formed sports and social clubs, each with its own identity. A very important aspect of Zamalek was that it was a club for all people, and not for any specific social, economical, or ethnic status. Zamalek started out and continued through World War I under the presidency of Marzbach and its Belgian secretaries. The next president was Nicolas Raffagy, who also played left wing for the club's football team. Following the 1919 revolution, the club became Egyptian-controlled in 1923 under the presidency of General Haider Pasha and Secretary Youssef Mohammed. In winter 1924, the club moved for the third time to what is now known as El Balloon Theatre. Then in 1940, the club was renamed Farouk El Awal Club after being honored by its acknowledgement from the King of Egypt and Sudan, King Farouk. Following the army coup against the king in 1952, the club was renamed Al-Zamalek, after the area where the club was situated. The club then moved yet again for the fourth time in its history to its final destination on the 26th of July Street, just 500 meters west of the Zamalek Bridge, occupying an area of 35 acres and hosting 24 different sports. In 1917, Egyptian members attempted to form a first Egyptian board for the club, but this was blocked by the president of the club, a Frenchman called M. Pianki, and the secretary M. Choudoir, who was Belgian, and as a result, no general members' meetings were held for the next few years. The Egyptian members realized that it was important to increase the number of Egyptian members to gain a majority at the next general members' meeting. As a result, the elections were held and the first Egyptian board was elected with Dr. Mohammed Badr as president, Mustafa Hassan as deputy president, Ibrahim Alam as general secretary, and Nicolas Raffagy, Mahmoud Bassouni, Hussein Fawzi and Abdo El Jabaloy as board members. After the first board, a new board in 1923 with General Mohammed Haider as a president. At the beginning for the 1940 Gen. Haider was select SSD to be from the assistants of the king. Due to being the favorites of the king, the club's name was changed from Al-Muqtalat to Farouk El Awal, and General Mohammed Haider stayed as a president at the club for almost 30 years, which was unusual at an Egyptian club at the time. Then came the Egyptian Army Revolution in 1952, and a new club's board was formed with Dr. Mohammed Shawki as a president, who was also the secretary. He is thwarts team in the World 11 Luja's only general of their legislation office with high social status right then. In the same board there was Mohammed Hassan Helmi, who is one of the most popular Zamalek figures, taking the position of the secretary assistant. Due to the rules right then, half the club board was changed every year and Mohammed Hassan Helmi took the position of Secretary General. In 1954, the idea of renovating the club stadium was emerging due to the bad state of the current stadium right then. This led the board to look for a businessman to take over the club and thus help in the stadium renovation. Abdelhamid El-Shawabi took the presidency, and although he was elected for a second period, but he was not able to do the job wanted. Right then, some Zamalek faithful figures as General Haider Pasha and Haj Syed El-Anani contributed to setting the VIP stand and the first-class stand in a way that suits the high status of the club. All of this happened while Abdelhamid El-Shawabi was outside Egypt. So when he came back, he resigned without helping the club in any aspect, and the board continued after Shawki stepped up from his deputy position to continue till September 1955. Still, the idea of bringing a businessman to help the club did not subside, and thus the famous businessman Abdel Latif Abo Regilo came as the club president in 1956, whereby then the rules have been changed, allowing the board to stay for 3 years. And once again Shawki steps down for the new businessman, although he was re-elected as a club president, and all for the sake of the club's prosperity. Although Abdul Latif Abo Regila was re-elected for a second presidency period, he had to leave Egypt after he lost his money due to the governmental policy against private property. But still the club continued to search for another businessman, and Alwar El Gaza came as a president, who was the owner of El Sheikh Sherib Company and also the president of the board of the Coca-Cola Company. Right then, although he was only president for a short period, he was able to bring Real Madrid at his own expense in 1961 to play against Zamalek. But still he lost his property due to governmental rules and he left Egypt. In 1962 came a new board with Eng Hassan Amer as a president, and emeritus deputy was given to Dr. Mohammed Shawki, Mohammed Latif, Gal Al-Karatim, Mahmoud Imam, and Mahmoud Hafiz. Eng Hassan Amer stayed as president till the defeat of Egyptian army in 1967. In 1967, the Minister of Youth and Sports Talat Kari decided that the club boards will be appointed rather than elected, and hence Mohammed Hassan Helmi took the presidency to become the first sportsman in Egypt to become a president of a club. He stayed in presidency till July 1971, where the rules came back to let the board come from elections and not to let anyone to become a president if this person hold presidency for 2 consecutive boards. Thus came Tawfiq Al-Keshan, who took the presidency of the board, and the honorary presidency was given to Mohammed Hassan Helmi. In 1973, Mohammed Hassan Helmi was elected to become the president and stayed as the head of the board till 1984, and during this period he was continually elected as the president of one of Egypt's biggest clubs. Then in 1984 came the Eng Hassan Amer, and after him came the Eng Hassan Abo El Fetu in 1988. During his period came a new rule by the Ministry of Youth increasing the number of elected board members to 10, which was removed again in 1990. Eng Hassan Abo El Fetu helped in building many of the new building the club is proud of, as the gymnasium building, which is considered one of the biggest in the Middle East. He also increased the funding for most of the sports teams in the club, assisting the winning of many championships during his era. In 1990 came Gal Al-Ibrahim became the president of the club due to the death of Eng Hassan Abo El Fetu. This temporary board was held till September 1990, when the general club meeting was held with the elections of which Eng Mohammed Noor El Daily became the president of the new board till 1992. In 1992, Gal Al-Ibrahim came as the new president of the club, as the rules were changed right then and the vice-treasurer was to be selected mostly by the board members. and then Hamada Imam was selected by default to that position, while Abdul Hamid Shaheen was elected to the treasurer position. As for the board members, it consisted of Dr. Ahmed Shireen Fawzi, Mahmoud Marif, Muhammad Fayez El-Zuma, Rauf Gasser, and Tariq Ghonaim. As per the rules, it was also new to have 2 members of the board under the age of 30. For these 2 spots, Sami Abo El-Khair and Ihab Ibrahim were elected. As for the appointed members by the High Committee for Youth and Sports, Dr. Muhammad Amer, General Hanafi Rayad, and Farouk Abo El-Nasser were added to the board. By 1994, Abdul Hamid Shaheen was not able to continue his duties due to his sickness, but the board chose to keep him in the position in honor of his devotion to the club, and thus Farouk Abo El-Nasser was appointed to take the duties while keeping Abdul Hamid Shaheen in the position. In 1995, changes came to the board due to the court's removal of 4 members in the board due to their absence from the board meetings for 6 times. These members were Mahmoud Marif, Muhammad Fayez El-Zuma, Dr. Muhammad Amer. The newly appointed members were Mortada Mansour, Mahmoud Abdullah, Munir Hassan, and Ibrahim Latif. Still, the High Committee for Youth and Sports objected on linking the appointed members with the elected ones, and as a result Munir Hassan and Ibrahim Latif forfeited their positions for the better good of the club and to remove any embarrassment happening to the board. And as a surprise, the newly 2 appointed members for the club board were Drive, Muhammad Amer and Farouk Abo El-Nasser, in support of their abilities and their dedication. As a result, Dr. Shireen Fawzi was selected to be treasurer till the new elections. On Thursday, the 4th of July, came the decision by Dr. Abdelmenem Imara to release the club board and the Egyptian Football Federation board after the sad incidents in the game between Ali and Zamalek, season 95-96, as the board decided to freeze the football activity in the club. Meanwhile, the F made a series of wrong decisions which caused it to be released too. As a result, a 1-year temporary club board was selected, of which Dr. Kamal Darwish was the president and General Abdelaziz Kabul was vice president, with the board members consisting of General Hanafi Rayad, Magdi Sharif, Ismail Selim, Azmi Megahid, and Muhammad Abdul Rahman Fawzi. Also, accountant Mahmoud Badr El-Din was appointed as treasurer. Zamalek Rivalry. Zamalek has had a rivalry with El Ahly since playing their first league derby in 1948. In the first half of the 20th century, Zamalek disaster 1974 saw a deadly crush at his Zamalek game, as at least 48 people attending the friendly game against Czechoslovak club Dukla Prague were killed in a stampede at the Helmy Zamora Stadium. The second disaster was in 2015. The 8th of February, 20 supporters were killed by policemen outside the stadium of the 30th of June Stadium. Name changes: KASRL nil. El Mok Talit. King Farouk. Zamalek SC. Team colors. The home jersey uses the original Zamalek colors, white jersey with 2 horizontal red stripes and white shorts. The away jersey is mauve with 2 yellow horizontal stripes. The third jersey is all green, which was through history Zamalek's color for the away jersey. Zamalek chose the white color because it is symbolized for peace and red color because it is symbolized for fighting for win. Grounds. The club has no home ground. Their old stadium, Helmy Zamora Stadium, is not suitable for hosting the first team's official matches due to its limited capacity. Its central downtown location, the fact that it has not been seriously renovated since its inauguration more than 50 years ago, and the terrace is threatened to fall. Zamalek trained in Helmy Zamora until today. Consequently, Zamalek play their home matches at Cairo International Stadium and Petro Sports Stadium. Mortada Mansour announced on the 31st of May 2015 that El Zamalek received an offer from a Spanish company to build a stadium in 6 of October City with seating capacity of 60,000 ultras. Zamalek has an Ultras named Ultras White Knights that was founded in the 17th of March 2007, which is known for its pyro displays. Their motto is Brotherhood in Blood, Honors and Achievements. 50 championship recognized by FIFA worldwide, Intercontinental, Afro-Asian Cup winners. 1987, 1997 runners-up. 1994, African CAF Champions League winners. 1984, 1986, 1993, 1996, 2002 runners-up. 1994, African Cup winners. 2000, CAF Super Cup winners. 1994, 1997, 2003 runners-up. 2001, League Egyptian Premier League winners. 1959 60, 1963 64, 1964 65, 1977 78, 1983 84, 1987 88, 1991 92, 1992 93, 2001, 2002 3, 2003 4, 2014 15 runners-up. 1950 51, 1952 53, 1953 54, 1955 56, 1956 57, 1957 58, 1958 59, 1960 61, 1961 62, 1962 63, 1965 66, 1972 73, 1976 77, 1978 79, 1979 80, 1980 81. 1981 82, 1982 83, 1984 85, 1985 1986, 1986 87, 1988 89, 1994 95, 1995 96, 1996 97, 1997 98, 1998 99, 2005 6, 2006 7, 2009 10, 2010 11. Cup Egypt Cup winners. 1922, 1932, 1935, 1938, 1941, 1943, 1944, 1952, 1955, 1957, 1958, 1959, 1960, 1962, 1975, 1977, 1979, 1988, 1999, 2002, 2008, 2013, 2014, 2015 runners-up. 1928, 1931, 1934, 1942, 1948, 1949, 1953, 1963, 1978, 1992, 2006, 2007, 2011. Egyptian Super Cup winners. 2001, 2002 runners-up. 2003, 2004, 2008, 2014, 2015. Saudi Egyptian Super Cup winners. 2003. Trophies and years are approved as the Egyptian Football Federation website. Records. Longest winning run. 10 matches. First match in Egyptian Premier League. Zamalek vs El Masri on the 22nd of October 1948 and ended with Zamalek winning 5-1. Longest clean sheet. 7 matches. Individual league Ayman Younes scored the fastest goal on 1990 against Sousse after 13 seconds. Mohamed Amin scored the first goal in the Egyptian league against El Masri. Saad Rostam scored the first hat-trick for Zamalek in the league against El Masri. The player with the most goals in the league is Abdul Halim Ali with 80 goals. The following players have won the top scorer award in the league while playing with Zamalek. Cup: Hussein Yasser scored the fastest goal in the Cup against Al Ahly in 2010 after 46 seconds. The player with the most goals in the Cup with Zamalek is Allah El Hamouli with 23 goals. Team kit. Kit evolution players. Current first-team squad. Egyptian Football Association rules are that a team may only have 3 foreign-born players in the squad. Note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Out on loan. Note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Youth Academy Squad Director Ashraf Kazim. Note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Notable players. Note: this list includes players that have appeared in at least 100 league games or have reached international status. See also List of Zamalek SC players, staff, Board of Directors, coaching staff, managers. See more. List of Zamalek SC managers, club presidents. Appointed by the Ministry of Youth. Return due court decision. Appointed by the National Council for Sports. Appointed by the Ministry of Sports.